In this video, we'll go over accrued expenses. So, in January 2020, ABC Limited entered a lease contract for a warehouse for the production of their new line of products. So, the rent is $4,000 per month. So, this means we are dealing with a rent expense. And they have not received an invoice for rent for the past month. So, we are in March 2020. So let's just say they didn't receive their rent invoice for February. So meaning we did not pay for February. So what is an accrued expense? So an accrued expense, so accrued means that we are owing. The business is owing. So whenever we are owing, this is a liability. So an accrued expense is an expense that has not been paid in the period it's supposed to be paid. So this is an expense that we have to pay. It is a liability, and we know that liabilities are always credited. And remember your double entry system, that every debit entry has a credit entry. So you always have to remember this when dealing with your accruals and with your prepayments. So how are we going to record this? So first of all, we need to recognize that there is an expense. We incurred an expense. So we used that office for that month, so we just have to pay that rent. So when you say incurred, it's kind of like you used up the rights. So we debit your rent expense of your 4,000, and we will not credit your bank because we did not pay yet. So we will credit your rent payable. So when we say payable, it means we are owing and we have to pay it of 4,000. So that's what happens. Now let's say we receive the invoice at the end of the month. Now we need to record that we actually paid our rent and we're not owing anymore. Because when we draw up your balance sheet, under your liabilities, you will have your rent payable. So this is a short-term liability of 4,000. So it will reflect there. So unless we pay, it will be a liability. And that will reflect in our financial statements at the end of the year. So if we pay our rent, so we will have to cancel out the payables. So we will debit your rent payable once we pay of 4,000, and then we will credit our bank, or if we pay by cash, of 4,000. And this is how you deal with your accrued expenses. So just keep these journal entries in mind. Do not forget to subscribe for more videos and leave a comment below on any questions or any topics that you would like to see a tutorial on.